spirit the notion that you should hone in on one position rather than different personnel?
You said besides inside linebacker? Yeah, I do enjoy other positions just for the fact that some positions, bring me different opportunities. For instance, Sam gives me more of playing on the edge and being able to get after the passer. And also with nickel, just giving me more coverage opportunities, more chances at the ball, So I do appreciate other positions just for the different opportunities that they present.
Is it still a lot on your plate in the sense of trying to figure out all these different things? Or are you at a place now going into year 3 where you're comfortable and kind of bouncing around and learning everything?
Yeah, I never really, put the playbook down of learning it just because, this is my job, not just a seasonal thing. So I've never really stopped trying to learn everything I possibly could, just not really so much of, obviously, linebacker, because that's the main focus at the end of the day, but, just conceptually, just so I'm able to play faster and just getting more reps with my eyes on film, just seeing, things that I'm not used to seeing necessarily from college. So everything's 100% slowed down a lot more, way more comfortable this year, even than I was last year. And, I just feel like the method that I've been going about has been beneficial to me, mentally.
Can playing several positions help you? Because you not only know what you're doing, but what the other guys are doing and so on?
Yeah, I think so, just for the fact of, then you know what everyone's doing. Because, playing at safety, you got to know what your nickel's doing. You got to know what your corner's doing. Linebacker, you got to know what your safeties, your nickels and corner and D-line are doing. So just being able to go everywhere has just gave me conceptually, more knowledge of our defense, which has been able to help me a lot, just knowing. Because, it's a game of leverage. So knowing where your help is just, it's been a lot.
What kind of expectations do you have for yourself this year?
I'm my biggest critic as much as the media wants to say whatever. And my expectations for myself is to be the best, in the game ever. So I don't ever want to sell myself short. Why not dream big? Why not want to be the best player to ever touch the NFL? So those are what my expectations are for myself. So until I get as close to that as possible or reach that, then my expectations won't be met and I won't stop working.
What do you think this defense looks like this year without Chandler? Is it going to look much different than what you guys have been doing in the past?
Yeah, things definitely change when you lose a guy who has over 100 sacks. Just knowing when you have a guy like Chandler Jones, such a great pass rusher, that ball is going to be out fast. So there's just knowing that we might have to tighten up a little more in the secondary. We still have great guys on the D-line. We still have, the great J.J. Watt, who also has over 100 sacks as well. So, Marcus Golden, I'm not worried. He's had 3 years of double-digit sacks. So it does suck to lose a guy like Chandler, but, we have a lot of guys that are going to step up and fill in. And, we also have a really great secondary. Byron Murphy going to his 4th year, me going into my 3rd year, obviously Buddha and JT, phenomenal safeties. Marco's going to step up more this year, going into his 2nd year, getting more comfortable. So, I have a lot of faith in our secondary as well as our D-line on what we're going to be able to do this year. And like I said, it does change when you lose a guy, Chandler's going to be a Hall of Famer. Losing a guy like that obviously is going to change your defense, but I feel like we have the pieces to be able to compensate on what we lost.
If you lose just one position, how much farther along do you think you'd be at this point?
I don't know. That's not really me, so I can't tell you that. I've played multiple positions for as long as you guys have probably known my name, so, that's just who I am.
How much do you anticipate your role changing at all from last year to this year?
Probably not too much. Like I said, linebacker is going to be the main focus, and I feel like I can dominate that. I feel like I could be one of the best in that position. So that's the main thing, and whatever wrinkles are within that, we're gonna handle them.
What have you seen from Zaven this year in terms of being more comfortable than he was last year with so much thrown at him?
Last year I just felt like Zaven was not in a bad way, but just here, and now he's acting as if he's supposed to be here. if that makes sense. Just strides of maturity, being a leader. Like, I mean, it's hard for, a 22-year-old guy to tell J.J. Watt, like, get your ass going, Like, I know that's difficult, but, some guys got into it a couple weeks ago, and Zaven's over there yelling at him. And, just seeing him do that, I'm like, I don't know if you noticed, but everybody's watching you do that. That's just little things that matter, especially coming from that position. I feel like the Mike linebacker position just carries more than what you play. It's kind of a leader, the aggressor on the defense, getting everyone lined up and going. So that, as well as his knowledge and, body control, he looks a lot more comfortable and just, more so like I said, he's supposed to be here. So Zaven, he's going to have zero worries in this league, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to be able to do.
Have you had to tell JJ to get his going?
Sometimes, sometimes, you gotta. Me and we butt heads a little bit, but it's just because I want JJ to be better than he's ever been, which is, that's a lot to say, especially to a defensive player of the year. That's a lot to say. But JJ, he wants, he's my biggest critic, but he wants me to be the absolute best I can. So if it's JJ telling me something that I don't want to hear, which he knows I don't want to hear, he has no issue. He's going to tell me. And, also I feel like he would want me to do vice versa. So just being able to get after him, knowing that we can get after each other all with the same end goal, I mean, that's the kind of guys that you want to have on your team and not guys that just let things slide by.
The first time you said something to him, or would you felt the need to maybe stand up for yourself in a way?
Yeah, I was nervous. I said it in like a jokingly way, just because, like, I mean, I'm 23. When I was young, I was watching J.J. Watt. I was watching blood gush out of his nose. Like, I remember all of that stuff when I was young. So now I'm on a team with him. It's it's a little different. And I have a couple guys. We have multiple people like that on our team. So
when it comes to you and Zaven, though, how much of you guys kind of your success will be determined by what the two of you do together?
Yeah, I think a lot of it does, just being two young guys kind of controlling the defense. I feel like our chemistry together is really, really important. And I said this last year in an interview, like I didn't think that I was going to be friends with Zaven based off his interviews. But, he's actually grown into being one of my best friends on the team. So, I had to get after him a little bit last week, just telling him, like, come on now, like we don't got time to be BSing around. We don't have to, like, the mistakes and stuff that we've been making before, we got to eliminate those and make new mistakes moving forward. And, it wasn't something he wanted to hear, but I think at the end, he realized that I was telling him that for the better of us, really the better of us, the team, opposed to just harping on him like everybody, because I know how he feels. Everybody's just at you, like, it's like she feels like you can't do anything right. And I'm just letting him know that's not what it was. It's just everybody's trying to get that Super Bowl ring at the end of the year. So that's all it is. And he understands, it's all love. It's all just everybody trying to get better.
You're talking a lot about, whether you're talking about JJ or you're talking about Zaven, it feels like there's a leadership portion of you coming out. Has that always been you? Is that new for you? Are you trying to exert yourself a little bit more as a leader?
I definitely want to exert myself more as a leader because that's just who I've been. I don't really have a problem with saying something to anyone because at the end of the day, I'm not really here to be anybody's friends. We're all here to make we're all trying to get to the Lombardi Trophy. So, I mean, if you don't like what I'm saying, then you're probably in it for the wrong reasons because I'm not saying anything to hurt anyone's feelings, to call anyone out. It's just all for the better of us. And the thing is, when I'm saying this, I want people to say the same things back to me or else, like I said, we're not in it for the right reasons. So, yes, I would like to become a more prominent leader on this team. I feel like that's just who I've been, it's who I was at Clemson. So, I mean, shouldn't change here.
Isaiah, did you buy your mom a car this offseason?
I did, yes.
What was it like to surprise you?
Well, so she totaled her car and she was hinting at she needed me to help her, but I was like, once she called me and told me, like, I had got it in the process. and she, you know, she was getting really sad because I was kind of blowing her off about it intentionally. Everyone knew but her, so I flew into Kansas, surprised her with the car, and at first she's like looking at it like, whose car is that? I'm like, this is your car, like, and then she lost it, but yeah, that was something that was probably one of like my biggest moments I probably ever had in my life, just being able to do something like that for my mom. But yeah, I was able to get her a car this off season.
Isaiah, how much of the grown-up stuff are you finding yourself doing more and more since you entered the league?
Yeah, being a grown-up sucks. Like, I try to find days where like I'm not spending any money, but it's always like a bill or, you know, just something that you just have to do as an adult. And I'm like, why do I have to do this? Like, I'm always asking, you know, my team, like, why are we doing this? But, you know, I'm kind of settling in a little more of being an adult, you know. But yeah, being an adult is fun, but it sucks too.
One bill you hate paying?
Yeah, starts with a T and it's taxes.